Hi everyone, this is Ginger Jameer. This is my second part of my presentation regarding my internship. Um, if you have watched my first part, I actually talked about a little bit about my church and how I did two internships within my church. So the internships that I did was with the women's ministry and then with the children's ministry. So for the first part of my presentation, I talked about the women's ministry, and now for the second part of my presentation, I'll be focusing more on the children's ministry. With the children's ministries, I was able to sit down with my mentor and kind of brainstorm about what we needed to do and what was needed in terms of help with the children's ministries. And we came up with two projects. Number one was to train teachers. Basically, we needed more teachers to help teach the children on Sundays. And so with that, he wanted me to see if I could help in training teachers that we already have and the teachers that are just joining, or any teachers that need training at all. And then for the second part of my project, it was to train and equip a current leader who has been teaching with us for a period of time to step up and handle more responsibilities. So those are the two projects that I was assigned by my project mentor. And so when it came to training the new teachers, when we talk about the need, challenges, and outcomes, it was actually an amazing experience. So when we set out to figure out, okay, we need to train new teachers, but first of all, we needed new teachers. And it was my first Sunday doing the internship with the children's ministry, and it's just amazing how everything played out. So the first Sunday of my internship, four church members actually came up to me and told me that they were interested in helping out in the children's ministries, assisting or teaching or anything that they can do for the children's ministry. They were up for it. And the amazing part was, number one, the fact that four teachers came up to me that Sunday. Second part is that they all came up to me one at a time, all four at the same time, all four on the same day. And thirdly, we haven't actually put out any announcement. We haven't said anything about us needing teachers. And in my heart, I was like, score, okay, God, you mean business, we need teachers, I'm willing to train, and so you're giving me the teachers, so all right, game on, here we go. So I was a little bit nervous and happy and excited, all kind of jumbled up into one feeling. Happy that the people were coming up wanting to help out in the children's ministry, happy that there were four new teachers wanting to come, and then nervous at the same time, because at the back of my mind I was wondering, oh well, how am I going to handle teaching all of these new teachers all at the same time, on top of teaching the current teachers, on top of training a new teacher. So those were things that I was really worried about. And so what happened was I was able to work it out so that the new members of the church who wanted to help out in the ministry would actually assist those who have been teaching for a long period of time. So they would shadow them, they would just kind of observe them, watch them. We have a curriculum that we that already established, so everything is pretty much laid out, and all they have to do is take it home the week before, read it, understand what's going on. We have other resources that they can use and pull from. We have workbooks that the children use alongside with the curriculum that we have. So everything is already set up for them. It's just them gaining that confidence and that knowledge of what they're teaching about, and of course them getting to know those children. So I gave them about a month and a half time period to shadow this already experienced teachers, to see how they handle different scenarios, and to see how they handle different personalities and different questions, and also for these new teachers to understand what the routine is and what the schedule is on the Sunday, and also what their responsibilities are. So that's one of the things I did. I have them shadow an experienced teacher. Also, I was there throughout the time that they were shadowing, just kind of observing how they were interacting with the teachers, with the current teachers, and also how these new teachers were interacting with the children. I wanted to see how they're asking questions, what questions they were asking, how comfortable they were with the curriculum that we have. So after observing them during the process of teaching, I also sat down with them after after Sunday school to just chit chat a little bit, find out how everything's going, if they had any additional questions, are they nervous about anything, just kind of sit down and pray with them and assure them that everything's gonna work out, that it's okay to make mistakes, that we won't know all the answers to the children's questions. And I think that's one of the biggest challenge about being a teacher in the children's ministry, is wanting to make sure that we have all the answers to all the questions that they have. And with children, you really never know what they would ask, and sometimes it's just a matter of telling them, I'm not sure how to answer that question, let me get back to you, let me find out and let you know, rather than trying to figure out a way, find out or tell them something that we're not even sure about, an answer that we're not sure about. Another thing that sometimes is hard to handle within the children's ministries are different behaviors. So getting to know those children, getting to know how they are at home, getting to know them personally, making that connection and establishing the trust with the children was something that was a part of the training. Really allowing these teachers to make a bond with those students and letting those students know that, hey, I'm not just here one time, but I'm here for you all the time. And so when the children get a sense that you are interested in being with them, you are interested in loving them, they will start making those bonds, and they will start to respect you more, to trust you more. And so that helps to get the lesson going smoothly for Sunday school. So those were the things that I was able to do with the teachers. I was also able to create a monthly schedule for everybody. And so we post that online, we email that out, we post it on the church bulletin board. That way everybody knows what they're doing, when they're doing, what lessons they're doing. So really establishing a schedule, some form of structure was something that I did as well. And so right now, out of the 4 teachers, 2 of them are actually teaching on their own. They're doing really well. And then the other 2 are still assisting. They're still trying to find their way with the different age groups and with the curriculum. And that is perfectly fine. I told them we are in no rush to push them to a place where they're not comfortable, and I want to make sure that I continue to be there with them. So for the second project, which is to train a new leader, I was very happy that I was able to find a current teacher to train. She's fairly young, but she's very passionate about the kids. She's very enthusiastic. She's full of energy. And so she was the perfect candidate. And so I sat down and I talked with my mentor about her. And he was also excited about training this new leader to take a more leadership role. I started training her by having regular meetings with her regarding special events, such as Father's Day, Mother's Day. We also had the Easter egg hunt coming up around that time, and also current happenings, trying to get her input on things that we needed to improve on that are currently happening in the Sunday school. And she had a lot of ideas such as restructuring certain things that we do. There's certain schedules that we have. She was talking about that. She also talked about certain materials that we needed or we didn't really need to have. She talked about certain classroom needing more things than the other classroom. We also were able to sit down and figure out performances that was coming up. Like we were able to figure out ahead of time. Actually, we planned for the whole year what we wanted to do for performances for the children to perform at church, and then we also figure out for the whole year the special art activities that we wanted to have for the children to do during special occasions like Father's Day, Mother's Day, Easter Sunday, Good Friday. We already started planning, or we've already laid the groundwork for Harvest Festival, Christmas, and Thanksgiving. So it's great to have someone who is so enthusiastic to sit down with you and to get their ideas. And she always had great ideas. She always had new ideas, creative ideas. So during my internship, I really gave her the freedom to express herself and to make mistakes. And personally, I can be controlling at times. So, and there are things that I would rather do a certain way, or there are certain things that I know would work out better if done a certain way. But I wanted to just really take a step back and have her get a feel of how it is to make certain decisions and carry them out and see if they pass or fail. And so that was a little bit of a struggle for me, trying to balance the fact of, oh, well, you should do it this way. At the same time, I want you to try to experience it your own way and make your own mistakes. So when mistakes happened, I really pushed myself to brainstorm with her, to sit down and find ways to make things better as a team. Rather than me telling her what to do, what not to do, I wanted to make her be part of the solution. So learning to balance control over situations was and is something that I continue to learn. So when I think back about the highlights that I have regarding the children's ministry, one of the things was that God works. When you say, yes, God, I'm ready to go, God is ready to give you and the responsibility. So like I said earlier, when I said, okay, God, I'm here, we're ready to train. Whenever you're ready, straight away, God gave me people to train, and that was amazing. Another highlight that I had was just seeing how this new leader blossomed, and how she was willing to work things out. So it was just amazing to see that she was able to take more responsibility. And it gave me the ability to actually relax and focus on other things that needed my attention and other ministries that needed my attention. So now as I look back on what I've learned from my supervisor, the one thing that I've learned from my supervisor is to continually do God's work and to be faithful to God and the ministry. And this faithfulness should go beyond all our desires, and to just realize that it's all about God and what He wants to do. My leader, my mentor confided in me that there are times that his heart was not really in the children's ministry, that he was struggling and that he was ready to move on and he just wanted to do something else. But God called him to stay, and he told me that even though sometimes it's difficult, it's the struggle, because of who he serves, because he knows that God wants him to stay there, he was faithful and he stayed. And so we are actually in the process of praying about me stepping up and taking over his leadership position, and for him to focus on the other ministries that he has under his belt. So with that said, 3 lessons that I have learned was number 1, to trust God and trust others. Things always work out. Number 2, to relax, take deep breaths, enjoy your ministry, and just realize that not everything will go your way, and that's okay. Which brings me to my 3rd part, which is mistakes are okay. If things happen, things fall short, things don't work out the way that you want, that's okay. You move on and you do a better job next time. So now I'm going to be talking about for the women's ministry and the children's ministry. When it comes to any sort of modification during my internship, if there is something that I wanted to do differently, would probably be concentrating on one ministry at a time. But due to the time requirements needed for this class, I needed to do more than one internship. So if I were to do one ministry, I feel like if I were to do one ministry at a time, I could have accomplished a lot more. So that would be one modification that I would make. Lastly, what I learned about my calling to the ministry is that I'm exactly where I should be. Coming to school was and is my current calling. I'm still not sure if eventually I will go to full-time ministry. I'm open to that. I'm excited to see what's going to happen in the future. But for right now, all I know is that I'm called to go to school, do it well, stay in school, finish it, and then we will see what happens from there. And so I hope that you guys are where you should be as well in terms of what God has called you to do. And I am excited for everybody in this class who are about to graduate or are already finishing or going to finish in the future. I wish you guys all the best. And again, thank you for watching. This is Ginger Jameer. Have a good day.